I've got a ton of crypto airdrop alpha for you today, so let's hop into some of the more important stuff because this is going to be a jam-packed episode. So for starters, I do want to talk about Tyco a little bit. So at this point, you can go and collect the final badge, and now if you've been following along with the full campaign, you should have 8 badges. Having each one of these gives you a points multiplier on actually ranking up for the airdrop campaign by doing transactions. But also, along with this latest badge, they've introduced TVL bonuses. Now, at first it seemed like this would be really bad because it could dilute users that have been farming this for a long time. But the way that they've actually structured it makes it a little bit more difficult for whales to just come in with a bunch of money and then rank up to the top. So basically, what is happening now from today or a couple days ago until September 16th is that you can provide liquidity to some specific protocols in order to earn additional bonus points for this airdrop campaign. Right now, this is the list of protocols that you can provide liquidity on, although currently Stargate is still not enabled, so I'm not sure why they included it on the list here. Also, within that, if you use these specific LP pools on these apps, you will earn additional Tyco tokens as a reward on top of the boosted points that you get for providing liquidity. There's a bunch of different options to provide a couple of different stable coins and ETH or 2 stables at the same time so that you don't have the risk of impermanent loss. Now there's 2 really important caveats here. If you are providing liquidity into one of these pools, you also need to stake the LP tokens that you get. So for example, if you provide liquidity on Ritsu for one of these token pairs, you'll get an LP token that represents your share of the pool, and you also have to stake that and basically lock it up until the end of this campaign, which is September 16th. So that is the first important thing that you need to know. You have to also stake the LP tokens. And then the second important thing that you need to know is you cannot withdraw before the end of the campaign. Luckily, it's not very long at this point, just a couple of weeks, but they say here in the fine print, you have to scroll down to sort of the middle of the blog post, that if you withdraw, you could be slashed, you could lose your points, or you could lose the entire airdrop allocation altogether. So just make sure to play it safe if you are going to provide liquidity. Keep it in there until the end of this campaign. Now, in terms of the dilution impact of this, one of the people in my Discord summed it up perfectly. Basically, in order for a whale to max out the points, they would have to add $50,000 in liquidity every single day because there is a points max per day of 300,000 points for adding new liquidity. Now at the margins, there will probably be some people that are impacted by this and end up ranking down, or if you have a lot of money, potentially ranking up. But the way that the formula works, basically, it's not unlimited, it's not uncapped. They can only get so many points per day. And since there's only a couple of weeks left, if you have a head start over someone, then potentially they still won't be able to catch you unless they have huge capital. Now on this, I actually started trying to actively farm this a little bit. It's super annoying and time consuming because basically what you have to do is bridge in every day to get a bridging transaction and a bonus, and then push transactions on the network. Every single transaction that you do earns points, and then you also have these points multipliers, and you get points based on how much money you're transacting with. So what I've been doing here, you can see all of these transactions all in a row, all on the same day, just a few seconds apart, is I'm wrapping and unwrapping ETH, which is seemingly the most popular strategy for farming Tyco. And by having all 8 badges, and now just as of literally yesterday, starting to push some transactions, I've already ranked up 8,000 spots on the leaderboard, so it is still pretty easy to rank up. Although the top tiers of this are gonna get way more than the bottom. Anyways, that is it for Tyco. So let's move on now to Babylon, because this morning they launched their Bitcoin staking mainnet. Actually, I did try to get in with some Bitcoin. Unfortunately, however, the fees absolutely spiked up this morning because everyone was trying to get in at the same time. I didn't set enough priority on my transaction, and so it ended up getting stuck in the queue. And so now my deposit of Bitcoin, I was trying to deposit the maximum amount that you're allowed per wallet, is in the overflow. So at this point, if you got in, congrats, I guess. If you didn't get in, there's 2 things that you can do. One is, I guess, just wait, hope that they either increase the caps, or you can actually unbond your Bitcoin to do something else with it. And the thing with this is that if you actually go to unbond it, there will be a fee of 0.00064 Bitcoin and you have to wait for 7 days. Now, the thing is, there are still going to be other ways to get exposure to Babylon if you want to farm it, even though the initial caps have been hit, because there's other service providers that are basically launching LRTs for Babylon, where you might be able to deposit Bitcoin and still get access. And I'm sure in the future, there will be other opportunities. Now, at this point, you may be asking yourself, why am I talking about Bitcoin farming? Because usually I focus on Ethereum, Solana, Cosmos, maybe Aptos, but I haven't really delved that deep into Bitcoin. Well, honestly, I've always been a little bit hesitant because I've had Bitcoin for a long time now, and I've always just sort of left it in cold storage and never really considered farming with it. But now I have been convinced by some of the big brains in my Discord that there is actually solid opportunity. And on that, I just wanted to mention that over the past week, I've been running an experimental alpha campaign in my Discord where people post their alpha, and one of the pieces of alpha was a guide on how to actually stake with Babylon. But everyone is posting their alpha, bringing solid things to the community here. And in exchange, I've offered a reward of 10,000 dBridge DBR tokens for this experimental alpha campaign. But I'm hoping to do much more stuff like this in the future because honestly, I found it super useful and we've gotten some really great alpha in here. So if you want to join the Discord, have access to the community, to stuff like that, and then also to Patreon exclusive videos. I've released one on Scroll, one on Solana, one on mantle farming for Cook, and I think a couple others as well. All of this is only $5 per month. And according to some of the people in my community, it's the best $5 they've spent. So that's my little self-plug for today. Now let's get on with the alpha. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the Puff airdrop campaign. For starters, you can claim Chapter 6 rewards based on your wallet reputation. And the formula for this basically boiled down to how many of the Potion and Vial NFTs did you collect? How many NFTs for the Puff Dragon did you collect? And then were you a net buyer or seller over the course of the campaign? And then you get certain numbers of points for these things. And depending on how many points you get either a 2%, 3%, 4%, or a 6% drop. So make sure you go and claim your final airdrop allocation for Puff. There's not going to be any more new Puff airdrops coming on the market, but there's still things coming up for this. It looks like they're going to be launching the token on a couple of centralized exchanges, starting with Bybit. They're also going to be integrating it into DeFi. And then there's going to be the big Puff burning event over the next couple of weeks where participants or people that hold this token are going to have to decide if you want to burn it to get Mantle's new Cook token or if you want to hold it for potentially something else. And at this point, I think I know which way I'm leaning, but when they actually go live with that final decision, I will bring an update and let you know what I'm doing. Okay, next up, in the world of restaking, Puffer Finance dropped a new roadmap and it looks like the token is dropping in early Q4. That's what they say. So still a little ways out for the Puffer token to come through. Next up, Magic Eden has confirmed that they're dropping the ME token, and they haven't said exactly when this is going to be, but the claim is going to be only in the Magic Eden wallet. And if you've been farming by collecting diamonds on their platform, hopefully you'll be able to collect this soon. I guess you will need to actually download this wallet in order to claim. Not gonna lie, I've personally largely faded this one. Okay, next up, if you are still farming the Owl2 Bridge airdrop, they have this NFT campaign where if you collect all 4 NFTs, you'll be able to merge them into one final master NFT. And there is just over a week left to do that. So just a reminder, I guess, for this, there's still time to participate. And also Owl2 Finance sometimes has the best rates depending on which chains you're going to and from. I use it for some kind of obscure routes for chains that haven't really been integrated to other bridges yet. So for example, things like Alien X. Okay, next up, this is a brand new airdrop opportunity. So if you've been watching all this stuff until this point and you're wondering, okay, what can I actually start completely from scratch? Corn just launched today. So this is a completely new airdrop campaign. There's a little live stream video that you can watch that kind of talks about what the opportunity is. Basically, they're launching a new Ethereum L2 where Bitcoin, or wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum, is going to be the gas token. Now, at this point, if you visit the Corn app, you may be eligible for some retroactive points based on your previous DeFi activities. So for example, I already have 4.8 million kernels, which is their version of points, because I had used Pendle, I think. But some other things that could have earned you retroactive points include interacting with liquid restaking protocols like EtherFi and Kelp, and a few other things. So I would say very low effort to go, claim your retroactive points, and then if you want to farm this from the get-go, they're taking pre-launch deposits of a couple of different assets, and I think I'll probably put a little bit of money in just to sort of check the box. They do have backing from Binance, which is huge, as well as Polychain Capital and some solid funding behind them. So potentially actually also a decent multi-airdrop opportunity if you use, for example, wrapped ETH from EtherFi. Anyways, definitely do your own due diligence before aping in and making a deposit. They've got documentation where you can check out exactly how this is all going to work. Okay, next, another brand new airdrop opportunity that you can start farming today is Drop.money. They have the Droplets program. They're giving 10% of the total token supply, or 100 million tokens, to farmers. And this is a new liquidity liquid staking protocol for Cosmos assets, including Atom and soon to be Tia, and probably some other ones as well. So if you want to check that out, I put a little bit of Atom into this. Okay, next, just a quick update on Linea. They are now in Volt 4, or month 4 of the surge. It's officially started, but that means with every subsequent month, the amount of points or LXPL that people can earn gradually goes down. So everything that you've earned up to this point is worth considerably more, actually, because it's becoming harder and harder to actually earn it. Anyways, they have also updated a little bit where you can get multipliers or modifiers on those points. So I'll leave a link to this thread if you're still farming this and you want to check it out. Okay, moving to Solana, the Grass airdrop should be coming soon. They're currently in the bonus epoch, but it looks like there's going to be a snapshot on August 23rd of linked Solana wallets. So make sure that you go and actually link a wallet if you haven't already. If for some reason you missed this deadline, you won't be able to change it until after the airdrop. And as we see with pretty much every airdrop these days, the price just takes a nosedive as soon as the token launches. So you probably want to get liquidity on what you've been farming as soon as possible. Next up, another Solana token, basically some dust that's claimable unless you're a massive whale, is Camino Season 2. So the distribution is automatically staked, but you can just unstake it instantly and sell it if you want to. Ironclad Finance also has their round 2 airdrop claimable. If you were in the top 888 wallets of their point system, you'll be able to go to their website now and claim your second allocation. And the third one, and the third and final one, I should say, will be coming 1 month from today. And this is another one that when you claim it, it doesn't actually come as the Ironclad token. It comes kind of staked or as an option token, and you have to cash it in using the mode token, and then you can swap it to something else. Okay, next, moving to the Base ecosystem. They have these base.eth subdomains, and you can register any domain that you want as long as it's not been taken by someone else. And yeah, I mean, there's very, very low probability of this actually being relevant, but since it's pretty cheap, I'm just gonna go ahead and register a name. I am still in the camp of people that thinks that it's unlikely that Base will ever drop a token, but being active within the Base ecosystem can't really hurt. It's kind of low cost, low risk. And certainly there's going to be apps and projects within this ecosystem that do actually drop tokens. Okay, a couple more quick things. Redstone Oracle, not the Redstone chain, has launched their Expedition Season 2. So this is definitely a potential airdrop target if you want to check out the quest that they're launching and try to farm it. And then the final thing that I wanted to mention is this Forgotten Runes Wizards called. It's a game that is actually built on crypto rails. It's pretty interesting. I actually experimented with it last year when they had their pre-beta launch. And basically they've launched a point system now where you can farm this if you have their NFTs, which are a bit expensive, but also there's daily check-in things, and then you can actually experiment with quests in their game. And also there's a couple of other ways that you can earn points. So in terms of crypto games, I found this one to be actually kind of fun to play. And if you want to check it out, this is a new potential airdrop opportunity for sure. All right, that is it for today's video. Tons of alpha in there. Hopefully you didn't find it too long. Thanks so much for watching and have a great weekend.